forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb before I started recording, so I just had to do that because it's always the little mobile games that I play that will like send me notifications when I'm trying to do stuff, and then it interrupts the whole vibe. Take some deep breaths with me. Exhaling. Inhaling. Hold. And exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. My goodness. It has been a day. It has been a day. Little mobile. Let's fucking go with the mobile, bro. I'm here for it. I'm a big fan. I think I say that all the time. Nice. Oh, and also, let's get some water in this bitch. The whole point of this is for me to kind of relax into this vibe of doing the video, and it's also for you to relax in this vibe as well. Oh my goodness. Water is so good. Hey, how you doing? I hope from wherever you are watching that you are feeling good, that you are, if not feeling relaxed, that you will become more relaxed as I go through this video. And I hope that you are in a space where you're becoming a little more aware of what's going on with your body and feeling your muscles and your limbs and releasing any of the tension that you may have in those places. Tension's not great, so that's why we want to release everything. Man, I looked at how long I've been doing these videos, and it's only felt like a week. But apparently, I posted the first video of these, of my little authenticity tour. The first video I posted was 13 days ago. I didn't even realize it was that long. I was talking to my sister about it, and back when I was trying to be famous, and I would post skits, or I would post like comedic videos, what I thought were comedic videos, because I make myself laugh. Like makeup tutorials or skincare tutorials, and then I had my vocalist stuff, and a long time ago I would play piano and do covers of songs. So great back in the day. Like, it's crazy that when I was doing those things, it wasn't consistent at all. Like, I would do a song and it would take me about a week to learn a song and to rehearse it and to get it to a point where I was ready to put it out there. And then I would put it out there, and then I'd be like, great, now that's posted, on to the next one. And I would start prepping, trying to choose a song, trying to work on a song, and then it would just get to the point where I just got super burnt out doing it. And I think it's because that's not really what I wanted to do. It's what I felt like I needed to do to get somewhere. And I find it funny that this is like day 13 or 14 of me doing these videos, and I'm not tired of this at all. And again, I think it's because I'm yapping. I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm just saying the first things that come to my mind and sharing it with the general public. So yeah. And again, unscripted. I think about ideas all day, mind you. I'm brainstorming all day on things that I can talk about in these videos, but because they're unscripted, I let them go. I let them fly out of my mind. And then when I sat down to do these videos, I don't remember anything that I wanted to talk about. I might remember like one or two things, but I've had whole podcast discussion ideas that have just not made it into this closet. It's the craziest thing. I forget everything. So I end up having to go back through my day and see what there is to talk about. Today was a very restful day. I watched a Jadina video, and in her video she was discussing the fact that we are in the winter. It might not be by the time you're watching this, but currently right now it's in the winter months, and I was starting to get really tired. I was like, I'm exhausted, and I don't know why. And it was like an emotional exhaustion and a mental exhaustion, and I wasn't feeling it at all. And I was like, I just want to sleep forever. And right now, like, I am so tired. I'm so ready to go to bed. But I love doing these videos at the end of the day, so. But I was so tired, and then I watched Jadina's video, and she's like, oh yeah, the winter is a time where everything goes into a rest space. And I was like, that actually makes sense why I'm so tired. And I'm not the only one who's tired. It's a bunch of people out here who I know who are like, damn, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just fucking tired all the time. So, that could be gas. That will probably rear its ugly head later. But yeah, so it's just crazy to be in a situation where I just am in here rambling about whatever. And I was the thoughts, heavens. So yeah, I'm tired, and a bunch of people are tired. And if you are tired and you found that you're more tired than usual, let that be a sign to you to rest, my love. Allow your body to get the rest that it needs. Allow your soul to relax. So I usually pop up in the morning and I will do a pull, a 1-card oracle pull for myself. 7 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. 23 is one of my lucky numbers. So if you're watching this and you've been trying to figure out if you should do a single card pull for yourself, I would do that either right now or the next time you go to sleep and wake up, do a card pull. And if you don't have access to a tarot card deck, then you can go online and you can go to any type of tarot card generator and do a pull. Crazy, right? You could also go to ChatGPT and be like, give me advice for the day. Because the way Spirit works is hilarious, because you can literally go to any source where information can come from and you'll get every piece of information you need. It happens to me every time. So, yeah, I was going to do that this morning. Alright, so I was going to do that this morning. And my spirit was like, nah, relax. So I just relaxed. I was just lying there for far too long this morning, enjoying the comfort, softness of my bed. And remembering when I used to sleep on a couch. And then remembering when I used to sleep on a box spring on the floor, because the room wasn't big enough for 2 beds. And the other person I was rooming with, I was like, well, you're working the more tedious hours, so you take the bed, I'll sleep on the floor on a box spring with a blanket. I'm surprised I didn't get massive back problems from that time in my life. It's hilarious, actually. I need some more water. I got cotton mouth. This is not meant to be ASMR, so if that's what you're hearing, I'm happy for you, but I'm genuinely thirsty. Oh my gosh. Water is so good, bro. But yeah, so I just relaxed, and then, yeah, that's really all I did today. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I watched some stuff on YouTube. I caught myself scrolling through YouTube Reels and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. I also spend a lot of time on Pinterest these days. Pinterest really is the GOAT. I'll have recipes that I put on there. I have stuff that I want to try to make at some point. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. take a minute with me and imagine, if you will, sitting across from various versions of yourself. And like you have the version of you that's like who you were 5 years ago. Then you have the version of yourself who's like 10 years ago. And then you have a future version of yourself and an even further future version of yourself. And you're looking at all these people. What are the types of things do you think those versions of yourself would tell you? Like, for me, how I've been sitting in my confidence recently is I imagine the version of myself that I believe succeeded or is successful. You know, she's confident in herself. She's happy with the choices that she's made, which I'm pretty happy with the choices that I've made. So I'm part of the way there. But like, I will envision her and then I will ask her if she has any tips for me, any fresh tips, if she has any advice. And sometimes I surprise myself. And I feel like if you were to start this practice, you might surprise yourself too. I feel like information and knowing go with me. I feel like ideas are organic. Like, I don't think ideas are stagnant and that they belong to a single person. I think there's like a collective pool, right, of thoughts that are kind of like floating around and they're kind of bumping into each other. And I feel like thoughts, when they're ready to be put into action or to be used, will land on certain people. And then those people can either choose to take that thought. Excuse me. Oof. There's the gas from earlier. That's what happens when you drink water. Side note, I had a gyro earlier. That shit was banging, but I think I ate too fast. But yeah. So I think those thoughts will land on a person, and if the person decides they want to use that thought, they'll use the thought. But if they don't, then the thought just... and then it goes over to somebody else and it lands on them. I think that's why. Like, if you ever grew up with a parent who was like, I had this crazy idea, and then like later you see it and your parents like, they stole my idea. It's like, they didn't steal your idea. The idea landed on you and was waiting for you to chop movie boy, and you let it fly through your fingers and somebody else got it and put it to good use. I kind of think that's how songs and like lyrics and books and artwork, I think all of those ideas are sitting somewhere. They're sitting in some type of large vat of information, and those things come to us and then we do stuff with them. So yeah, I don't know why I got started on that, but that's what I think of a lot of the ideas I have when I'm sitting here and I'm recording a video like in real time. I think weird thoughts to myself. And it's great when you have like weird people around you who can do that. Like I've been saying repeatedly in videos that you gotta make sure that you clear out your circle of people and make sure you're around solid people who inspire you and motivate you. And something that I appreciate is that the people who are the closest to me, if I walk up to them and I go, yo, you wake up one morning and you have a dick on your forehead, what are you doing? And every single person in my close circle is going to take that question serious as fuck. And these are the types of people who you should fuck with. Now that may not be your type of weird, which would be odd because you're watching this video. And if you're watching this video, I have a feeling you may be that type of weird. But people who go with you, they share that energy, they match you motherfucking freak. I think those people, gems. I feel so blessed to have the people I have in my life right now. Like, every single one of them who I deal with consistently is a supporter. And the people who aren't supporters can't do anything except be there. Because, you know, there are always going to be some people in your life who are haters, but because of, you know, maybe where you're located or the nature of the relationship, like, you can't just not deal with them. Like if you have coworkers who you work with and they just ain't shit, and you're like, well, I don't want to quit this job because I kind of need the money. I feel like as long as you have your people, those people are a non-issue. Excuse me. I ate too fast. I regret everything. Oh my goodness. My stomach. I feel so bloated. Ugh. I'm happy though. I don't think I've eaten that well it's been weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since I've had a meal that solid, and I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very grateful. Take a moment with me, collective. Take a moment with me and think about a couple things that you are just really grateful for, and really happy about. And just feel it. Feel it in your soul. Like, something that I'm grateful for is that I am currently living in the time period that I'm living in, because I wouldn't have wanted to be in any other time period. Like, in 60 minutes and 16 seconds as I say this. So if you're a person who's wished that you could have been born in another time period, or you feel like you don't belong here, or you feel like you were supposed to be elsewhere, I feel like if you're constantly in that headspace, then yeah, this reality would suck. But I also feel that when we make the reality that we're in magical, we do that shit ourselves, then it's a place that you want to be. Like, I don't want to go back to the Great Gatsby time. And I think we all know for what reasons I wouldn't want to do that shit. I also don't think I would want to be, like, super, super rushed into the future. I'm very happy with where I am right now. Even though I battle with impatience for the things that are manifesting, or the things that are on my path that I'm headed towards, I am grateful for being here where I'm at. I'm grateful for this wig. Growing up, I wanted to cosplay so bad, but just any extra finances that I had in my family always went to something else that was solid and more important, and it made sense, and I'm not angry about it at all. And I think I have a true appreciation for dressing up like this as an adult. Like, I actually have a staff. I went to Lowe's with my sister, and we just went to, was it Lowe's or Home Depot? It was Lowe's, and we went to the very back of the store, and there are all these wooden poles, and we kept pulling them out and being like, oh my god, these are like Final Fantasy swords. But then we found a section of them that were tall but manageable, and so I bought one of those. And then I bought some super dark paint stain at Hobby Lobby. And then also at Hobby Lobby, I got some like rough wrap, like kind of like ribbon, but it was rougher, and I wrapped it around the stick, like where I would be gripping the stick. And then I got some fake flowers, some black flowers, and I hot glued those to the top, and I stained the whole stick super dark, like almost black. And I love it. I love it. Occasionally I walk with it here, and I walk outside, and at first I was super embarrassed to do it because I was like, this is so weird. This stick is so tall. I look fucking weird. What am I doing? But then I realized, you know, the world is full of a bunch of weirdos, and I might as well let my weird show, you know? And so I walked, like, the 2 or 3 days that I walked with it, and then it started getting cold. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I am tired. But I wanted to come and do a video for somebody who needs it. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Bro, I was in the shower, like earlier, I was singing. I was going to fuck off, mind you. You couldn't tell me anything. I thought I was Bobby McFerrin. I was making all kinds of noises. I was slapping my chest. I was having a good time. And then I come into the room and I was like, hey, you know, to my sister, I was like, do you ever be in the shower, like, doing interviews or, like, doing concerts? She said, bitch, yes. And I started cackling because it's so true. Like, the bathroom has the best acoustics, first off. So when you're in the shower, prime performance time. And then I'd be in there like, yeah, you know, it was hard, you know, when I first started out. And it's like, I don't even want to be like like that anymore, but like the habit is there. I can't help but do it. Ooh, if you have a situation where you could take a bath, bro. Take a bath. I stopped taking a bath once I got to the age where kids were making fun of people for taking baths, and they were like, you should only be taking showers. And I stopped taking baths immediately because I don't want to be lame. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. Jesus. But recently I went in there and I like super cleaned the shower because it's an apartment shower, so it's just white. And I was like, okay, I want to take a bath, so I'm gonna clean this fucking shower. So I cleaned the shower. It took me forever. I brought a candle in. I set the candle on the front of the tub. I lit said candle. I filled the tub. I put some, what did I put in there? Oh, I was doing like a healing type situation. And so I put some cinnamon in the bath, which of course made a ring, so I had to clean the tub afterwards. I didn't clean it until like the next day because I could not be bothered. But I did that, and then I lit some incense. And girl, that bath was so amazing and sensual. Like, it was just me in there. Like, the fan was, I turned the lights off too. Super atmosphere. And I was just in there, and it was a little, like, the steam was coming off the water. The candle was at the end, so I could see the flame reflected in the water. And I was just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so demure. It's fucking everything right now. The only thing that was missing was a bath bomb, but I have had to clean up after bath bombs before, so that's why I don't use them. But it was so magical. And then for a while there, I was showering like only by candlelight, and that, like, oh my God, romanticize your life, babe. Like, whether you're a girl, a guy, who the fuck ever, romanticize your life. Make moments in your life, book moments with you as the main character. 22 minutes and 22 seconds as I say that. So please do that. Romanticize the fuck out of your life. Tato, what do you mean by that? If you're washing the dishes, play music. Play some like salsy Spanish music that would be playing in your, like, you know, like your mental romance novel, where a super sexy like Fabio comes in from his hard day at work, and you're at the sink and you're washing dishes and you're being domestic. Oh my God. No, but seriously, romanticize your life, bitch, because every moment can be beautiful. Every moment can be magical. Bro, okay. When I was a kid, I went to a really small Christian school. I was like one of maybe 3 or 4 black kids in the entire school. And we used to do dodgeball in the gymnasium. And I remember... I can't believe I'm about to share this bullshit. So, I was like in the 2nd or 3rd grade, okay? I have no idea how old kids are during those periods of time. But look here. We were all divided up. You know, half of the class on one side, half the class on the other. And we have to all stand back on the wall. And all of the dodgeballs were lined up at half court, you know, one per. So everybody, you know, when they would say go, each team has to run to the center. Everybody has to try to grab as many of the dodgeballs as you can and just start hurling at people. And I remember... Oh my God. I'm sorry. So I remember when the coach would blow the whistle, right? And all the kids would start running, I would start like slow-mo walking. I thought I was hot shit. I would slow-mo walk, like, and I would be like, yes, go, my pretties. Like, the other kids would, like, run forward, like I was sending them to war. Bro, the imagination of a child is incredible. Like, it was everything. It was everything in that moment. I thought I was hot shit. And what's crazy is I still experience that shit now. Like, when I'm driving, and I'm driving in a center lane, and 2 cars on either side of me go zooming by, I'm like, yes. Go now. Go now. My legions. Oh my god. I was such a... I love imagination. Like when, like, what I would love, put in the comments, if you're watching this video, what was your favorite game to play as a child? And I'm talking, you could talk board games, we could talk imaginary, we could talk with your neighbors or with your siblings, we could talk PC gaming, you know, anything. I would like to know what your favorite games to play as a kid were. Please put them in the comments. Please put them for me. Please do not deprive me of this, because if I see a game that I don't recognize, I'm gonna look it up. Because we as kids had so many weird games that I loved. But, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was funny. That was such a funny time in my life. I remember there was a guy I had a crush on. And again, this is, like, it's a relatively small school because it's a Christian school. Like, it was, you know. And I remember there was this guy I had a crush on. And I liked him so badly. I was like, oh my god, he's so fine. And he was quite, like, a couple of grades ahead of me. And I was looking at him, and I was walking down the hallway, and I ran into a fucking pole. Like, you know the double doors, and then you have that metal pole in the middle? I ran into the goddamn pole. I was so fucking embarrassed. But he wasn't even looking at me. He wasn't even paying attention. And at that time, I was so small, and I looked so much younger than the grade that I was supposed to be in. So then when other girls who were just slightly older than me would be like, oh yeah, you know, I was in the locker room with other girls at some point. I was like, oh my god, this guy, he's so cute. I just can't. And they were like, oh, he is cute. I used to hate that. I used to hate when I had crushes. I stopped telling people who I had crushes on because these bitches would be like, oh yeah, he's cute. I want to try to talk to him. The fuck you mean you're good? What happened to women supporting women? You bitch. Why would you do that to me? I'm clearly over here nervous as shit because I want to talk to this guy. And he was so cute. And he was athletic. And he was thin. Like I'm talking did not eat thin. Like, he had, like, the thinnest waist. And I was like, how? Yes, I'm thirsty. I was like, how? But I remember I felt so ugly. I was like, no, like, he's not interested. He's never going to be interested in me. And then I grew up and I dodged a fucking bullet because I saw him on Facebook the other day and I was like, oh no. And really, I mean, he's lived a hard life. He's lived a very hard life. We'll just leave it at that. But, man, when I was a kid, things were interesting. The 90s, like the late 90s and then like the early 2000s were a very interesting time for me. I just didn't know where I fit in. I was born in Atlanta. Yeah. Like, I'm a Georgia baby. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I was raised in Tennessee. And so whenever people would ask me, oh, where are you from? I'd be like, from the South. Just that general vicinity. I've just always been in the South, which is crazy because I actually really like the North. I like that you get all 4 seasons. I like that it snows. And I actually do like that people still go to work in the snow because they actually have, like, the trucks with salt and they can salt the roads. For those of you who are watching this who live up north and you've never lived in the South, the reason why people in the South tend to freak out about snow and about super, like, weather, I'm telling you right now, it's not because they're not smart. Okay, it's because if you live in a location where it doesn't snow except one every 5 to 6 to 7 years, they're not putting money into the infrastructure to be able to pay for salt to salt roads and trucks to do that. They're not paying for snow plows. Why the fuck would you do that? It only snows once every blue moon. So when I was up north, I would have people who would make fun of essentially me and anybody else from the South, and they were like, you guys can't handle bad weather. Actually, tornado, we got that. We kind of look at tornadoes and go, Hurricanes, I'm here in Florida. I was freaking out about hurricanes when I first moved here, not no more. Like, if it's getting me, it's getting me. There's nothing I could do about that. And they're like, evacuate. I'm like, we only got one road out of here, bro. You're either evacuating down towards Miami or you're evacuating up towards all the other states. But other than that, you only have 2 directions you can evacuate. And usually the hurricane, it's coming straight across the state. Doesn't make sense to freak out about it. I mean, if somebody believes they can make it out, like, evacuate, you know, do your thing. But there have just been so many hurricanes. People have been like, no. Why am I doing it? But yeah, when I lived in Boston, oh my gosh, so many people were like, y'all don't go to work in the snow? No, because the roads are completely frozen over, you know? People in the South don't have, like, the chains on their cars. I mean, some do. But, yeah, I always thought that was interesting. But I like having access to the 4 seasons if possible. I do. Florida's nice, but I don't think I want to keep living here. And by nice, I mean, like, the weather is pretty stable. The weather is pretty stable in Florida. This is definitely a retirement state, though. Like, it definitely is giving, we are here to retire. And then I would have people be like, well, what about Miami? Well, Miami fucked up and was doing way too much during spring break. And so Miami brought their cops out and they were like, we're closing all of these locations so that spring breakers can't do anything fucking stupid. And then they set up a curfew and they were like, stop that shit. Look it up. Spring break, I think it was this year. Spring break was canceled. They were like, no, because y'all don't know how to be decent. Which was crazy. I had never seen... I was flipping through... No, I wasn't flipping through. I was watching, like, a YouTube video. I don't know what I was watching. But then the ad popped up. And it was literally, like, people talking. And it was like, yeah, Miami, we're not doing spring break this year. I was like, oh, shit. The entirety of Miami said, fuck y'all. Y'all come down here and y'all fuck up our shit. Like, so many people from out of state come down there, trash Miami, and then go back to where they came from. It's like, y'all can't do that. Go spring break somewhere else. Go trash. I don't know where you could go safely to do that. Ooh, speaking of safe locations, guys, I want you to comment, if you can, something about tornadoes or tsunamis. I'll take that. These are hyperfixations for Tato. I love tornadoes. Bro, I saw Twisters with Glenn Powell. And I say with Glenn Powell because I can't remember any of the other actors' names. But I was there. It was funny because my dad recently was like, oh my gosh, like you talk about tornadoes all the time. Like, this year was the year where I focused on all my fixation, my, like, special interests. And I was like, Dad, did you know that tornadoes go? And I would just start spitting facts. And then at some point, he was like, hey, like, I would like to bond with you. I would like to have, you know, something that we do, you know, when there's nobody else here and it's, you know, a father-daughter thing. And I was like, what, Pops? What would you like to do? Mind you, this was this year. He goes, there is a Tornado Chasers show on, I forget where it was, if it was Apple TV or if it was Netflix. And I was like, Storm Chasers, you say? Don't tell me that. Don't get me hype right now. He's like, no, for real. We popped popcorn and we got lit and we watched episode after episode of Storm Chasers. I mean, I was in the drama. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that they did not put the Doppler. Bro, it was just, I'm so tired, or I would be able to remember things. What is it? Is it the Dow? Not the Dow. Is that stocks? That might be stocks. But, bro, they have the trucks and everything, and all of it's like how they fund that stuff, like the storm chasing, like the official storm chasing that scientists do. It's like grants. Like, that's where they get their fun. Bro, I would have loved to be a researcher growing up, but I was told growing up, oh, it's going to be a bunch of math, so if you're not good at math, you don't want to do this. Fuck you, Karen. If you had been supporting me and tutoring me in math and helping a sister out, I could have been a storm chaser. I could have been what's-her-face in Twisters and come up. I'm not going to spoil the movie. It's a good movie. If you're into Twisters, you should go watch it. If you're not into Twisters and you think it's a boring idea, don't go, because it's not for you. Go watch Fast and Furious. That might be for you. That might be something you're interested in. But it was so good. It was so good. I loved it. I love it so much. To the point where I've actually, like, I love tornadoes. I'm considering during tornado season going out to, like, Oklahoma and to those states where tornadoes, like, Like, there are tornado tours. You can literally sign up, and they tell you in, like, on the websites, they're like, so there will be no refund if we don't see a tornado. But the odds are you're going to see at least some. They might be little. They're not going to be, your big kahunas, because those are really dangerous, and I'm not trying to see one up close. Horrific. No, thank you. But I do want to see a couple, and I think it'd be really fun. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Fucking love tornadoes. And I'm the same way with tsunamis. Now that's something I don't ever biggest fear. One of my biggest fears, drowning. The other biggest fear, like, buried alive. Oh my god. I know that if anybody has those fears, I'm sorry to bring those up. But oh my gosh, you owe it to yourself. If there's something that you really like or that you're interested in, you should talk about it or write it down. Like, why would you not? It's such a... kids do this all the time. A kid will walk up to you in the store and be like, hi. And you're like, oh, hey, how are you? And they're like, good. Did you know that cows... And they just go the fuck off. And you stand there because you get it. You understand the point. And they're talking... And you're like, So 2 stomachs, you say. How many? Like, it's amazing. When you sit there and you listen to somebody go on and on about their special interests, there was a person who, when I was at Full Sail, I was on campus, and he came and he sat at a table next to me, and he just started talking about his special interests. He talked about animation, drawing. He talked about the solar system. He talked about dinosaurs, and I was just sitting there like, yeah, and he was just going on and on and on. Now, my brain felt absolutely overloaded by the end of it. Could not fathom anything after that. I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to eat for dinner. What is eating? Because I was literally inundated with so much information, but I fucking love that shit. I love when people have special interests. And don't let people have similar special interests to mine. Like, I get so excited if I'm out anywhere and I hear anybody mention Skyrim, the video game. If I hear at the Christmas party that I went to, somebody goes, oh yeah, blah, 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 haha, video games. And I was like, oh yeah, Skyrim. I just kind of threw it out there. And she's like, you've played Skyrim? And I was like, yes. And she was like, have you played the remastered version? And I was like, oh, I see you're somebody who games. So then we ended up talking about gaming, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is great. These are the types of people I want to be around. I want to have these types of conversations all the fucking time. It was amazing. But yes, God. Dishonored. So I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, but there's a video game. I mean, you can't see it. Slow down. So Dishonored is a game that is a first-person story-based game, and it's like you have the option to be stealthy or not to be stealthy. And it's really great, and it's very Lovecraftian, like cosmic horror-esque, which is one of my favorite topics. I love cosmic horror. Cthulhu, bro, get the fuck out of here. This is my stuff. My back tattoo, I have a full back tattoo. I have a Cthulhu piece on my back, and I love it. And I want to do something that's Lovecraftian horror with my left leg. I want to do like a leg sleeve. One day. I'm coming for you, leg sleeve. And I don't know what I want to do with that yet. But, like, I love... If you haven't, I don't even want to say Lovecraft because H.P. Lovecraft was on some racist shit. And so I cannot support him as a person, clearly and obviously. But there are some stories that they're deliciously disturbing. It's just really great because it just sends your brain for a loop. And for me, I believe the story is called Rats in the Walls or something like that. Fucking love that story. Oh my god. There's also the Mountain of Madness. I'm really bad with names, but oh my god. I love it so much. So yeah, Dishonored, amazing. There's magic. There's elements of all kinds of really kooky, crazy, creepy things. So I think you should go look it up. I think you'd enjoy it. What else can I recommend? Random side note. If anybody watching this video remembers, do you remember Jumanji with Robin Williams and cast? Do you remember the man who played his father and also played Van Pelt? the hunter. Girl, why was he fine? Like, watching as a kid, I was terrified of him. And I was like, he sucks. He sucks because he's not there for Alan when Alan needs him the most. Because I was, Team Alan, obviously. But then I watched Jumanji recently. I was like, really, Papa Alan? I was like, you don't say. Interesting, you moonlight as a hunter. I was feeling his vibe. I was feeling his vibe. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. I miss Robin Williams. As a 90s kid, I definitely grew up with a lot of his humor, like Aladdin, staple. Mrs. Doubtfire, staple. Happy Feet, staple. That movie, Happy Feet, the music, bro, the rhythm, the little feety taps. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Yo, you ever been so... I think I already said this in a video, so I'm not going to say it again. Look up the term hypnagogia. It's a wonderful word, very powerful word. I've been playing like mobile games. I've been playing Scrabble. And I have to tell you, the playing against the AI is heart-wrenching because it'll be like 180 points against like 50. And I'm like, how's that even possible? You've got all these squares, you got all these possible points, and I'm only getting 50? The fuck, bro? But I like to play against the AI so that I can become proficient enough to play with real people. That's what I did with Overwatch. I played many rounds of Overwatch with bots, and then I played one game with real people, and when people entered the chat, I got really nervous. I don't know if you've ever had this, but I've had this thing for many years, and I think it stems from the first-person shooter that I tried to play online when I was younger, and that nigga was camping me the whole time, and I was like, fuck you, bro, and I rage quit for many years. But I don't know if you've been through this, but I have always had chat anxiety, if you will. Not chat as in like chat. Well, yes, actually, let me not lie to you all. I have chat anxiety. Playing games with other people online makes me so nervous. And it's because I'm like, well, when I'm playing the game by myself and I do dumb shit, I'm the only person that it affects. But if I'm here and I'm trying to play a game with people and these people happen to be proficient and I'm glitching out in a corner or throwing a grenade or a flashbang by accident and getting our whole team to lose, that's a different story, my guy. So I was actually playing GTA 5. My sister got me hooked up. I'd never played before. And she was like, all right. And I was playing through the story mode. And she's like, oh, like, you're really enjoying this. I was like, yeah, like, the amount of pedestrians that, look out. If you're a pedestrian in GTA 5, all those thoughts that I be having every day while I'm actually driving, I can actually act this out in GTA. Bro, you ain't said nothing but a word. But I was playing, and then at some point, it was like, oh yeah, now you've gotten through the tutorial, you can play online. I was so nervous. My sister was like, you gotta do it. I was like, okay. So I hopped online, and I'm just doing my little thing, I'm rolling around on a little motorcycle. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Nobody's looking at me, nobody's perceiving me, this is great. This is a goddamn video game. I'm nervous in a video game. There are people who are online, and they say the craziest shit, and I was over here scared. Terrified that I was going to be perceived. And some person was following me, and I was like, oh my god, they're going to kill me and take all my shit. They're going to kill me and I didn't have a lot of shit to work with anyways. So I'm riding around on this motorcycle. I finally ride to the beach. Like, I ride fast, and I go to the beach, and I was like, okay, he'll never find me here. He found me there. Whoever it was playing found me. And then the little bring, and the chat popped up. I almost passed the fuck out, bro. Like, I almost fell out of my gaming chair. And he was like, hey, like, I saw you running. And I was like, why did you have to do that? You could have not seen me running. You could have turned your back. I mean, if you had hit a cool, I would have been happy. I would have been happy. You didn't have to see me. And I was like, oh, hi, in the chat. And he was like, Ayo, are you a girl or a guy? And I was like, no, please. Don't make me. I'm already scared. This is my first time playing. I was like, please no. And I was like, I'm a lady. I was trying to be clever. Bro, this was this year. I'm so embarrassed. And he was like, okay, well, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't really know. And he was like, well, I can help you level up and stuff and, you know, go get stuff. And I was like, no, it's all a lie. I can't fucking trust this guy. He's gonna mislead me and then he's gonna betray me, leave my dead body and take all my shit. Bro. He was leading me. Things were going well. I look forward to seeing this person whenever I would log on to the game. And then one day he was like, oh yeah, the next thing that you're supposed to get's down there. So I jumped down under this bridge and I was like, oh, well, clearly it's this glowing marker. And I hop in there and as it's loading, he's like, ooh, that's not what you were supposed to do. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And he was like, well, it's like a battle royale type situation. And I, due to fear and due to embarrassment of doing the wrong thing, I logged out super fast, turned off the game, and I haven't played the game since. Because I get anxiety. Okay, I get massive anxiety trying to play with other people. It's hard. The only people that I play with are my siblings. I play with my sister, I play with my brother, and then I play with my other sister. Like, we'll get on Discord and we'll play, like, the little free games that are on Discord, like the golf game. That one's super fun. The, Discord kind of Wish version of Overcooked is on there. Bro, I actually love that game. I love games where you have to like do the different steps and serve people before they get angry. There was a mobile game that you used to be able to play that had that. Diner Dash. Oh my gosh, if you remember Diner Dash, put a food emoji in the comments. But yeah, I was so embarrassed. I get so nervous. I get so nervous trying to chat with people online, and it's just really funny. I logged out of that bitch so fast. I logged out so fast. I was like, you ain't gonna ever get me. You ain't gonna have me out here looking stupid. And my spiritual team was like, why do you do this in your relationships? And I was like, no, damn it. You caught me. The anxiety. But yeah, so as badly as I would like to play games with people, I get very nervous. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like anytime, like I had, when I was on TikTok, I had a couple people be like, oh, we have Discord accounts. Like you talk about gaming and you seem to know a lot and you like, or not know a lot, but like you seem to enjoy gaming and you know like gaming lingo and stuff. So why don't you hop into this Discord of people? And I would be about to hop on and I'd start sweating. I'd break a sweat. I'd be so nervous. Like it's the wildest thing. I think my sister just came back in from her outside meditation. But yes, I hope you all continue to feel good. I'm gonna go ahead and head off to bed. But thank you for being with me while I reminisced. Oh vey, oy vey. I appreciate you guys so much. Much love to you. Be blessed, and I will holler at you guys at a later date, most likely. But yes,